Good morning and welcome to the Stock Planner channel. I'm on a diet and boy, this sure looks good. But you're not here for a diet channel. You're here for stocks. Sure looks good. Let's get started on the stocks. Back to the food. Everything is going up in price. Lumber, food, costs. Are we having inflation? Oh, one other thing, housing. All those industries, agriculture, housing, all are part of the CPI. The Consumer Price Index is a measure of takes a weighted basket, including housing, which is a big part, of consumer goods and services such as transportation, food, medical care, and calculates that price changes based on from time period to time period. A lot of people that play the stock market watch this as an indicator of whether we're in an recession or in a boom. Researching this on YouTube and looking at the Marginal Revolution University, which gives this particular site has a lot of education on economics. It has a diagram and it explains inflation and what causes inflation. But basically, the Consumer Price Index, using their slide, is food, beverages, housing, toothbrushes, recreation, education, communications, and it's measured from a period of time to a period of time. Let's take a look at the Fred Index, or Fred is economic research site, the Fred data, and this is a period of time, 1965, and if you remember, around 1979-80, inflation was very, very high in our country. And then that was underneath the Carter administration. And then Ronald Reagan took over and it dropped. Confidence was restored. And it's been hanging down lower ever since. We have a long period of time where inflation, a lot of people don't think about inflation. And this is during the Trump era. Inflation started returning a little bit. And we had to stop buybacks to keep the economy floating and prosperous. The Fed was doing a lot of buybacks to prop up the market for the last 3 or 4 years. The Fed's continuing that buyback, and it shows that the inflation index is going down. Do you believe that today, based on how much it costs to fill your car up? I'm not so sure. Anyway, why is that going to affect me today? Tomorrow, on Thursday, they report this number, whether there is inflation returning or not, and they also report the unemployment number. These two numbers are going to be very, very important to the market. And what the market has been doing is in a holding pattern. It hasn't really moved. That's the Dow down a little bit from what's open, and the NASDAQ and S&P was slightly up. The big boys were mixed, and this looks like a mixed. But there's a lot of red. Healthcare, which I have, I'm thinking that it's going to have a little turnaround. And the financials were mixed, but some of them were pointing down. I have some sell signals on my financials, but I'm not going to take them. I'm going to wait to after the CPI number and maybe do a buy, because financials and energy tend to do well if we have inflation. And they also do well in a recession, especially with inflation. Now this morning, the Dow's got some red. S&P hardly moved. Right, it's got a green bar, moving a little, and NASDAQ a little, but basically nothing. Waiting until Thursday for that CPI number. I think you're going to see more of the same. Joe Biden leaves for Britain on Wednesday. The C7 meeting. I hope it goes well, but I'm not optimistic. UK and the European Union are arguing over COVA. Stocks are flat, as I showed you. Chinese inflation. Don't know much about that, but that's interesting. Yes. China's PPI increased from 9% from 6.8. The Central Bank of China, or the People's Bank of China, needs to worry about it. And so is the Fed on Thursday. So this inflation is worrisome. And need to be making some plans. My eye is on financials and energy. I have a Discord chat where I put out my watch list. Johnson & Johnson's a buy, RSI buy, but it's pharmaceuticals. Procter & Gamble, all those look the same. It gives you a place to start doing your own research and due diligence. In my watch list. Yesterday, in mid-afternoon, I did buy into Humana Healthcare. It's an expensive stock, so I could only afford 3 shares with a small account. I have a larger account with other stocks, but this is a stock. I bought 3 shares, and you can see that this is wishing and hoping, by the way. But MACD is way below the zero, looking like it's going to kind of turn around. We have had a large trend up, a pullback, and now I'm hoping it'll continue with the trend. The stochastic RSI is in the oversold condition, and so is the RSI in the oversold. If you believe in the 50% retracement, you could look at this stock going to 440. I played that sometime yesterday. Searching my list elsewhere for some early plays. I often like to wait until the RSI, stochastic RSI, comes back around. And it almost has, and so is the RSI. But I wait till it crosses back over to make the trade in MACD. So if you rely on these singles exclusively, they're happening now or about to happen with LAC, which is a lithium stock. Which, if you believe in some of the EV stocks going down a little bit after the day, which I do, but NEO, I am holding a small position in NEO for a loss. At some point in time, I want that to go up. But it's looking like we might have a little dip in the EV stocks. Anyway, I'm seeing a short. And do you see a short in LAC? Do you see a short in LAC? This is plug. Long drive down, pull back, and now will it continue its trend down? Here's your MACD. If you went in early with the MAC, just the MAC, would have had a small loss here, but things are looking hopeful. Overbought. Is it coming back down around? I think it is. And overbought for the RSI. Will it come back and swing around? I'm seeing things that are not there, but do you see things that are not there? Plug Power and LAC look to be getting ready to turn, but I'm thinking that it is going to be a short, but we should wait for your indicators to do that. This is a classic mistake, but you can choose to make it or not make it. Do your own due diligence. Do you see a reversal in plug? Please leave your comments below. I'd like to hear a discussion. And lastly, I've gotten some sell singles on some financial stocks. Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, MMP, Capital One, Cincinnati Finance Company. And you had this long run up. And I think you're going to have a really small pullback till Thursday or Friday. But then we're going to continue, I believe. You have your sell singles, your MACD, your stochastics, RSI, and your RSI. All indicating that it might go short. This is Morgan Stanley. Let's look at Goldman Sachs. You should see much of the same thing. Long run up and possible pullback here. MACD pointing down, stochastic RSI pointing down, and RSI pointing down. This would indicate a short, but look, be careful. You don't take a short on a long-term trend up like that. But you do wait to pounce on it for like a continuation at some point in time. And typically, if you just look at the charts, you would think it would take a couple, next week sometime. But because of the CPI number, I think it's going to occur tomorrow. What do you think? Financials for inflation? Please leave a comment below. Anyway, check out my Discord. It's free. TradingView is free. Sometimes I use OmniBroker. It's not free, but it allows you to do a lot of backtesting and programming. It's about $300 if you're really into this stuff, and you have to be sort of knowledgeable in programming. OmniBroker is the way to go. Well, here at the Stock Planner channel, we're trying to learn new things. If you're not watching the CPI, you should. But the important thing is, and we're trying to focus, is that I'm not trying to teach how to do and learn about the stock market and how to do an indicator and all that. But I am trying to motivate you to go ahead and start doing it, start researching for yourself, start getting your own strategy and system, learning it and trading it. And I'm trying to push you to not wait to either start paper trading or trading with a small amount and get started. That's the quickest way to learn. So get out there. Let's do some trading, but maybe not today. Maybe wait till tomorrow afternoon or even Friday to make your trades. Waiting and watching might be the best thing. Watch that CPI number. Please like and subscribe. Catch you on the flip.